Managing time in lieu can be complicated, but you can use automated rule sets in order to make the process much simpler. There is some preparation required in order to set this up, including setting up pay categories, leave categories, work types, tags, and rules. However, once it's all set up, you can simply apply this to existing employees and the automated rules will apply time in lieu as required. Firstly, you can start by setting up the pay category. Select Payroll Settings and then Pay Categories. From there, you can select Add in the top right-hand corner of the screen. We'll call this pay category Time in Lieu. The pay category will accrue super and leave. Also, make sure to select the payment classification Leave Other Paid Leave. Once you're done, select Save. Next, you can set up the leave category. Select Payroll Settings, then Leave Categories, and then select Add in the top right-hand corner. You can name this leave category Time in Lieu as well, and it'll have the following settings. Leave loading to nil, leave category type as standard, employee leave balance as tracked. Now for the next two options, automatically accrues and exclude from termination payout, do not tick those options. As unused payments for time in lieu of overtime are paid out upon termination, we will select the ETP box. And then the next three boxes are a personal preference and relate to whether or not you want that leave showing in the Employee Portal, the WorkZone app, and the Leave Calendar. Finally, for payment setup, select the Report the Earnings for the leave taken against another pay category option, and then select Time in Lieu. Also, ensure that the box that says Use Pay Rate of Employee's Primary Pay Category for Transferred Earnings line is ticked. Once you're done, you can select the Save button. Next, let's set up the work type. Select Payroll Settings, then Work Types. From that screen, you can select the Add button. We'll name our new work type Time in Lieu Taken and link it to the employment types that you wish. For this example, we're enabling this work type for full-time and part-time employees. You can then link it to the Time in Lieu Leave category that you created earlier. Once you're done, you can select Save. Next, you'll need to set up the tags to apply these rules to certain employees. Navigate to Payroll Settings, then Tags. From there, select Add. Name the tag something like TIL for Time in Lieu. From there, you can apply this tag to any employees that you wish to, or alternatively, you can apply this later. You'll also have to establish rules in order to apply all of the elements that you've created. For the purposes of this video, we'll show you how to create two basic rules. One, to accrue time in lieu when an employee works over their standard hours, and then the other, to take time in lieu automatically when an employee works under their standard hours. This is just one example of how time in lieu could be applied with rules. For more explanation on other scenarios, please refer to the article linked in the video's description, which explains this in more detail. Firstly, navigate to Payroll Settings, then Rule Sets. The next step is determined by whether you wish to create these rules for an award or not. If you wish to create these rules separate to an award, then you can just select the Add button to create your own rule set. You can then fill in the information required for the rule set, such as the name, rule set period, and other details. Alternatively, if you wish to create the rules under an existing award, you can just select the award from the drop-down menu at the top, and then select the Edit Rules button next to the relevant rule set. Just be aware that the order of the rules in a rule set is important. Rules will be applied to timesheets in the order that they appear, from the top to the bottom. Once you're in your rule set, you can select Add Rule to create a new rule. From there, you can start to create your rule as required. I've named this rule TIL Overtime and used the following conditions. When time worked in a shift period is greater than the employee's standard hours, where, and you'll need to click on the cog icon on the right to see this, tags include the tag TIL, then select multiple actions before you apply the pay category None, and then add an additional action where you add leave accrual of 1 unit of time in lieu per hour worked. Once you're done, select Save. This rule will take any time worked over the employee's standard hours, which are defined in the employee's settings and their pay run defaults page, and instead use them to accrue hours of time in lieu balance. You can start the second rule by once again selecting Add Rule. You can call it TIL Undertime, and it'll have the following conditions. When time worked in a shift period is less than the employee's standard hours, where, and once again you'll need to click on the cog icon on the right to see this option, tags, with the employee having the tag TIL, then select Add Remaining Time, then you'll need to add action and apply the pay category None, and then you'll need to add action again and add a leave accrual of -1 units of time in lieu per hour worked. Once you're done, select Save. Now this rule will take effect when an employee works under their standard hours. It'll apply time in lieu to their remaining hours, using up their accrued time in lieu balance. Once you finish creating the rules, you can select the Activate Draft Rules button in the top right-hand corner to place your rules into effect. If you wish to apply your new rule set to an employee, navigate into their employee settings. Then select Pay Run Defaults from the left menu. You can scroll down to the Pay Conditions rule set and choose the appropriate rule set. Then scroll down and select the Save button. Using the steps provided, you can automate your time in lieu to meet your business's needs. If you'd like more information, please review the detailed guide linked in the video's description.